Hello everyone, Corporate Accounting Part 1 for BCom third semester of Ranichinama University. Chapter is Liquidation of Companies. Session 4. In this session we will discuss about the meaning and explanation of certain terms used in liquidation of companies. So what are the important terminologies that we are using in the liquidation chapter here? So secured creditors. Secured creditors means holding security of assets of the company against their loans and advances. There are two kinds of secured creditors. So secured creditors ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ರಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ರಿ ಸಾಲವನ್ನು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಂತವ್ರು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸಾಲವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಂತ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನ್ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ದೇ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ who have given loan to the company by taking some assets as security. ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಆಸ್ತಿ ಪಾಸ್ತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಅಡ ಇಟ್ಟುಕೊಂಡು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು ಸಾಲವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನ್ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರ್ಡ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. And there are two types of secured creditors. One is fully secured creditors and another one is partly secured creditors. Fully secured creditors ಅಂದ್ರೆ what do you mean by fully secured creditors? If you have taken a loan of 10,000 and you have given asset of worth 10,000, then it is fully secured creditors. Partly secured creditors means what? You have taken the loan of rupees 20,000 but you have given asset as a security of only 10,000. Means you are giving assets which is having less worth than the loan amount, then it is called as partly secured creditors here. The next terminology, preferential creditors. The creditors which are paid in priority to the debenture holders having floating charge on assets, but in practice these creditors are shown after the debenture holders in liquidator statement. It should be noted that for calculation of a liquidator's commission, these creditors are included in the unsecured creditors. So there are certain creditors who are to be paid before the debenture holders. ಕೆಲವೊಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ ನಾವು ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದ. ಸೊ ಅಂತ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಸ್ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಸ್ ಯಾರ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರಾಗ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ನಾವು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪೇ ಮಾಡೋದಿತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರ ದ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಸ್ ಸೆಸಸ್ ರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಪೇಯಬಲ್ ಅವು ಏನಾಗ್ತಾರ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವ್ರಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ವೇಜಸ್ ಸ್ಯಾಲ್ರಿ ಔಟ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅವು ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತ ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿಗೆ ಏನ್ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಪೇಡ್ ಇನ್ ಪ್ರಯಾರಿಟಿ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದಿ ಡಿಬೆಂಚರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್. ಡಿಬೆಂಚರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕೆ ಮೊದಲು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕ್ರಿ ನಾವು ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದ. ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಕಾಂಪೆನ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಉಳಿದಿತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಔಟ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಸ್ ಔಟ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರ ದೇ ಆಲ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಸ್. ಬಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ವೈಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ we should include these preferential creditors in the unsecured creditors. ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡೇಟರ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡೇಟರ್ ಎಮೋಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕ್ರಿ ಈ ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವೇನ್ ತಿಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅನ್ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರ್ಡ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Then next, debenture holders. Debenture means what? Debentures are the financial instrument by which the companies are getting the capital from the general public. So it is a debt instrument. ಇದೊಂದು ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಸಾಲ ಪತ್ರಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಡಿಬೆಂಚರ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿಗೆ. ಸಾಲ ಪತ್ರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವ್ರಿ ಕಂಪ್ನಿಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ at that moment like the shares the company will issue the debentures. ಶೇರ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಆ ರೀತಿ ಡಿಬೆಂಚರ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನು ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಹಣವನ್ನ ತಗೋತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಡಿಬೆಂಚರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಸಿಗ್ತದ್ರಿ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ದಿ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್. equity shareholders will get the profit, right? But debenture holders will get the interest regularly. So Always debentures holders are having floating charge on the assets of the company. ಕಂಪನಿಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಕಂಪನಿ ಆಸ್ತಿಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವರು ತಮ್ಮ ಅಂತ ಹಕ್ಕನ್ನ ಹೊಂದಿರ್ತಾರ. So they should be paid before making the payment to unsecured creditors and shareholders. So debenture holders ಗೆ so order of payment entry before making the payment to the shareholders and unsecured creditors we need to pay the amount to debenture holders. If there is any outstanding interest on debenture, then it should be paid along with the debenture amount. So ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಎವ್ರಿ ಇಯರ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕ್ರಿ, ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಡಿಬೆಂಚರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇಫ್ ದಿ ಕಂಪನಿ ಇಸ್ ಅನೇಬಲ್ ಟು ಪೇ ದಟ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಎನಿ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಇಯರ್, at then it is called as outstanding interest on debenture. So the company has to pay that interest also along with the debenture amount before making the payment to unsecured creditors and shareholders. shareholders ಗೆ ಮತ್ತು unsecured creditors ಗೆ ಮೊದಲ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕ್ರಿ, ನಾವು ಡಿಬೆಂಚರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಹಣವನ್ನು ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅವರ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಹಣವನ್ನು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಪೇ ದಿ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಔಟ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್. ಏನಾದರೂ ಬಡ್ಡಿ ಕೊಡೋದು ಬಾಕಿ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕ್ರಿ, ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. The next one, unsecured creditors. These are the creditors who are not having any security of assets of the company. This includes sundry creditors, bills payable, unpaid amount of partly secured creditors, bank overdraft, dividend unpaid, calls in advance, outstanding expenses, etc. If the amount is not sufficient, they will be paid in proportion or pro rata basis. So you unsecured creditors ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರೇ, ಈ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪನಿಗೆ ಹಣವನ್ನಾಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನಾಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಸೇವೆಗಳನ್ನಾಗಲಿ ನೀಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕಂಪನಿ ಟು ಪೇ ದಿ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಟು ದೆಮ್. ಕಂಪನಿಗೆ ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಇವರು ಅನ್ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರ್ಡ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಯಾರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಸ್. Sundry creditors means what? From whom we are purchasing the goods on credit basis, they are called as sundry creditors. So we have not given any asset as a security to them, so we need to pay the amount to them. Similarly, bills payable, bank overdraft, outstanding expenses like outstanding salary, outstanding rent, like such kind of expenses, calls in advance. So these all are unsecured creditors. So we need to make the payment to unsecured creditors after the ಡಿಬೆಂಚರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಆದ ನಂತರ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕ್ರಿ, ಅನ್ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರ್ಡ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಟು ಶೇರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಹಣವನ್ನ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕಿನ ಮೊದಲು ಡಿಬೆಂಚರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಹಣವನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ನಂತರ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ನಾವು ಅನ್ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರ್ಡ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇಫ್ ದಿ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್, ಇಫ್ ದಿ ಕಂಪನಿ ಇಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಶಾರ್ಟೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್, at that moment what you need to do, you need to distribute this amount, whatever the amount we are having. If it is not sufficient to pay the full unsecured creditors, at that moment we need to distribute it proportionately. Then coming to the shareholders, there are two kinds of shareholders. It may be preference shareholders or equity shareholders. In case of public company, the preference shareholders have got priority over the equity shareholders as regard to repayment of their capital. So what we need to do, there are two kinds of shareholders. One is preference shareholders and equity shareholders. So preference shareholders are having preference, the name itself tells preference shareholders. So the preference shareholders are having preference over the equity shareholders at the time of repayment of their capital here. So before making the payment to the equity shareholders, what we need to do, we need to pay the amount to the preference shareholders. And regarding the preference dividend, right, if it is the cumulative preference shares, in preference shares also there are two kinds of preference shares. One is cumulative and another one is non-cumulative preference shares. So dividend on cumulative preference shares, it is already declared but not paid, it becomes a liability and is payable before any repayment of capital. So preference dividend ಏನಾದರೂ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಬಟ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಇನ್ನೂವರೆಗೂ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, so this is one is also is liability of the company to pay the amount here. So before making the payment of capital, we are going to give the preference dividend here. Then calls in advance and calls in arrears. So calls in advance, calls in arrears, if you need to understand this one, so I will read it first. If there is any amount of calls in advance is received on any class of shares, it should be paid before any return of capital on such a class of shares. If there is any calls in arrears, the liquidator has right to make the calls on such shares to meet the deficiency for payment of creditors and also preference share capital and dividend thereon having a priority. So calls in advance and calls in arrears. So first we need to understand what you mean by calls here. So the whenever the company raises money through shares, let it be equity share or preference shares, it will not collect the full amount at once. Say for example, if the face value of the share is 100 rupees, the company will not collect the full amount at once. What it will do, it will collect 20 rupees on application, 30 rupees on allotment and 50 rupees on first and final call. So the company whenever it requires, it is going to make the calls. Say 20 on application, 30 on allotment, and if they require, they will make only one call, first and final call 50 rupees. If they require only 10, at that moment they will make first call of 10 rupees and they will make second call of 20 rupees and they will make remaining 20 in the third and final call. So whenever the company requires amount, the company will make the calls. So sometimes the shareholders may pay the amount in advance, right? Along with the application money, only he will send the full amount. Instead of giving only 20, he will give full 100 rupees. That will be kept with the company only. That is called as calls in advance. And calls in arrears means what here? Even though company has made the call, but the shareholder has not paid the amount here. Along with the application he got, allotment he got, the company has made the first and final call of 50 rupees, but the shareholder is not yet paid that amount. So that is called as a calls in arrears here. So if a calls in advance is there, at that moment what the liquidator has to do, the liquidator has to return that amount. Before returning the capital, the calls in advance amount should be given back to the shareholders here. Then calls in arrears. So if the amount is receivable by the company from the shareholders, right, but it has, the shareholder has not yet given the amount, at that moment the liquidator has the right to collect this call amount from the shareholder. So he is having right to collect that amount. That is called as calls in arrears. Contributories. According to section 428 of the Companies Act, a contributory is every person liable to contribute to the assets of the company in the event of winding up, and it includes a holder of fully paid up shares and also any person alleged to the contributories. So contributories ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಸೊ ಶೇರ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, even though they are not fully paid up shares. If we transfer the shares, for example, A is a shareholder, right? He has paid the face value of the share is 10 rupees, he has paid only 5 rupees. Later what he do, he will transfer his share to Mr. B, right? So now the shareholder is Mr. B, but the liability of the Mr. A is not at all completed here, because while transferring the shares to Mr. B, whatever the financial position of the company, and at that moment he will be responsible for that, so he will be liable for till that date. That is called as a contributories here. And B is liable to pay the remaining 5. Similarly, A is also liable to pay somewhat amount, whatever the position of the company at the time of transferring the share. That is called as a contributories here. Then liquidator remuneration, very important terminology. In every problem you will be having some liquidator remuneration. There will be a calculation of a liquidator remuneration. The liquidator's remuneration is fixed by the National Company Law Tribunal in case of compulsory winding up, and it is fixed by the members of the company in case of a voluntary winding up. So the remuneration may be fixed as under fixed lump sum. Fixed lump sum means what? The company, National Company Law Tribunal or the shareholders of the company will fix some amount, say 10,000, 20,000, like that. They will fix the remuneration, or they may give the remuneration on the basis of percentage on assets realized, 2%, 3% on the assets realized by the company, or they may give percentage on amount paid to unsecured creditors. How much amount is distributed to unsecured creditors, on that 1%, 2%, like that they may give the remuneration. Then percentage on amount paid to preference shareholders as capital and arrears of dividend. So preference shareholders ಗೆ ಮತ್ತು equity shareholders ಗೆ ಏನು amount pay ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅದರ ಮೇಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬಹುದ್ರಿ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, or they may give a mix of these things, fixed lump sum, then also percentage on assets realized, or percentage on assets realized and percentage on amount paid to unsecured creditors. Like that they can mix and give the remunerations. So these are the important terminologies. So what we have studied till now: list of certain terms used in liquidation and meaning of secured creditors, preferential creditors, debenture holders and unsecured creditors. We came to know that, and how we are going to make the repayment to the shareholders, preferred dividends, calls in arrears and calls in advance. Then we also studied about the fixation of liquidators remuneration. So thank you.